Clear Chad Remington here, your lead expert reporter of the prestigious Diamond Dynasty League. We are here for a post Week 11 power rankings. We weren't sure if we should do it last week or after the trade deadline. Had some input, some good input. Decided after the trade deadline is probably the best way to do it. We're gonna do this video as fast as we maybe can. We're going to get started. We're going to do our best with this. We're going to go forward and do just, rank every team. So, here we go. I don't want to go like top to bottom, bottom to top. So I'm going to close my eyes, kind of scroll up and down and then try to pick a team here. And that didn't work out very well, did it? All right. Blue Barracudas. Kyle's first. All right. We got Kyler Murray, who has not played in a couple weeks, has been injured the last few. That's what you get when you're 5'10", and that's why one of us doesn't play in the NFL, right? Anyway, not a great number. Okay, take it back. Maybe he's consistently not good. I know it's all fourth quarter, so maybe, but garbage points are points. I'm not seeing what I like out of Kyler. I think you kind of see it too with Arizona defense or Arizona offense running just fine through Colt McCoy. It's not good as he for a Kyler owner. But Swift going through this hole, is he injured? Is he not? I mean, getting 8 touches when Jamal Williams is vulturing 2 touchdowns. I don't know what to think about Swift. It's a giant question mark. I think he obviously is talented. I don't know if he's actually injured or not, or he just hates the Lions. Rightfully so sometimes. So, Kyle held on to him. I think he should have held on to him. I think you just kind of ride with him and see where he goes. I think Swift is still a valuable asset, but whatever. We're going to keep going. A.J. Dillon having a very, very underwhelming season. I don't get the Green Bay Packers. We're just going to skip the Packers. The Packers are trash, and I have always hated them. But I still think there's a lot of promise too. Devonta Smith has been pretty solid. The Eagles' offense is cruising. Still young receiver. He's never going to be that number one. I think we've proven with A.J. Brown being there. Deontay Johnson having another rough year. With that Steelers offense. And it's really, right now the summary to me is Kyle's team is a bunch of players who are on offenses that are just not clicking, outside of Devonta Smith and Swift, but they're like, Swift is weird. Devonta Smith isn't the main piece of that offense. Cole Kmet is Chicago's cruising, but he's only had a couple good weeks. Otherwise, he's pretty underwhelming. I still think there's a lot of promise. I think there's a lot of promise with Kyle's team is the gist of it. Treylon Burks had his first breakout game last week, and by first breakout game, I mean actually good game. Looked very good, so it was good to see from a Treylon Burks side. Tyquan Thornton has really kind of cooled down after he came shooting out of the rocket, really not doing much. Again, Patriots offense really struggling. Landry, I am not going down that road. We know how we think of Jarvis Landry and how garbage he is. Davis Mills coming back down the earth year 2. And Nguanyu really not doing much, unfortunately. Maybe next year, though, type of thing. Zamir White really, again, great preseason, doing absolutely nothing this year. Really weird to see. I am going to just kind of go to the next team and try to summarize this. Bateman for next year. I still like Bateman. Tyrion Price really didn't do much. He's been injured this whole year. Velus Jones that's what you get when you draft a 25-year-old rookie. 2 first picks, a second pick out of Brad. Okay, another second pick out of Kev. I don't think Kyle's team is that bad. I also don't think it's very good for obvious reasons. I think 11, 12, or 13 spot is kind of where Kyle's team is. As far as Dynasty, and I don't, this probably because he's like the first person I'm ranking, I'm going to put him down here, and I don't, probably very harsh to be honest. Probably could be anywhere from 9 to 13. I would in my range. Kyle's team's a bunch of is hit or miss. Right now they're missing, but that doesn't mean I don't think they can not hit. They cannot hit. They can still hit. Just a lot of boomer bust players right now who where the situations aren't working out, but I still think those situations can definitely work out, and some of them easily, kind of like Deonta Smith. I think I think it'll work out for him, type of thing. Um, we're gonna move on. I think Kyle seems one of the harder ones to kind of go on, just how boomer bust it is. So we'll start him off at 11 and 13. Um, who do we just click on? I think it's Brian's team. Did we just click Brian's team? Brian's team. All right, Brian's team. Didn't mean to do that. All right, Patty Mahomes having a killer year. Tyreek left, still absolutely murdering it. Him and Travis Kelce are just insane. Brian Robinson is getting a lot of touches. I like what I'm seeing out of Brian Robinson, but I'm also not like thrilled about it. He looks really small in this picture, doesn't he? Why doesn't everybody else look like Patrick Mahomes is like, hey, I'm this tall, and then you go to Brian Robinson, he looks like he's in middle school, and that kid's not middle school. Um, anyway, Brian Robinson, Jamal Williams. I mean, this is probably one of the craziest picks of the year, or surprises to me. I mean, number 13 in PPR 7 standard, that's nuts. I mean, just constant touchdowns. Um, Wild team. Michael Gallup been very underwhelming this year. Kind of not. I don't know if he's healthy. I don't know. I don't know. Plus, they're gonna sign to OBJ. I don't know what to think of Gallup. Um, Sutton has been on and off, mostly off, but coming together on this Denver offense. Dalton Schultz has been all right. Again, kind of on and off. And maybe that's kind of what we'll notice a lot of these teams that are not in the playoffs is that it's really hot or not type of teams. I don't know. But Ayuk has been absolutely murdering it. Huge Ayuk fan. We're a little unclear of him going the year, but we were definitely on the positive side of him, and he is blown away expectations from our standpoint. And huge young receiver murdering it. McKinnon not doing great. Tony just cannot stay healthy. Is obviously the talent is there. He just cannot stay healthy. And then on the Chiefs now is definitely different from when we did this last video. Ritter, I think will definitely get a chance eventually. Gus has been hurt, but has actually performed pretty well when he's been in. Kenneth Walker is arguably the best rookie running back since Breece Hall is injured, right? Probably the highest, one of the probably top 3 dynasty backs, I'd assume. Having a really good year once he started playing. He's looking good. Huge asset on this side to have. This guy, AO, went off the team. That sucks. I was very promised about this guy. Kelvin really coming back finally, probably, right? On Jacksonville. PJ Walker hurt, hey, he's good backup. All picks. I think Brian's team is actually pretty good, honestly. I think it's definitely underrated team. This squad is definitely, they're performing well. Plus, you got Patty Mahomes. As far as Dynasty goes, Brian, I don't think this is exactly his year, but I think he's 5 or 6 potentially. Maybe we'll put him up in the 5 spot. I just like the young talent on his team between Ayuk, Patty. I think Brian Robinson, once Antonio Gibson gets out there, because they just, I don't know if they like him or love him. They're weird. If Tony stays healthy, Kenneth Walker is a big asset. Ridley coming back. I think it'll take him maybe 1 or 2 years to kind of get. I maybe this is a little high, but I like that for Brian. All right, closing the eyes. We're gonna. I don't know who this is. Jimmy G's. This is Ryan's team. All right. Ryan's team is sitting in second right now. We didn't go over Brian's team. Brian is sitting out of the playoffs right now. Only a game back, though. Brian has that potential, though. It's kind of a sleeper team right there. And Kyle's team is out of the playoffs. Sucks. No, I'm just kidding. Ryan. All right. Jimmy G at quarterback. Huge 37 last week. Nothing's. I guess Jimmy G's doing what he does, looking good, playing all right. McCaffrey and San Fran was a huge boost. James Cook is looking okay, I suppose. Thought he got traded. I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Okay, maybe I'm insane. I I thought he got traded in another trade. All right, we're just gonna go on this. We're gonna keep going. Um, Naheem Himes, who I was thinking of. I thought him and Cook got. Anyway, sorry, my apologies. Um, looks like he's doing all right. Nothing crazy though. I mean, looks like this is really his second only good game this year. All right, sorry. Debo with McCaffrey. Debo and McCaffrey. This probably didn't actually work out for you, but I think definitely some games it's worked out. I think Debo's kind of had a decreased role because of McCaffrey coming. It's like sucks for your team, but I mean, obviously in a game like yesterday's or whenever it was, pretty prime. McLaurin is looking all right. The Camir's offense is looking good. I obviously still talented, and Ryan has got a lot of young guys. I need to go faster through these teams. I'm not gonna talk on every player, maybe. Tannehill, the quarterback situation is rough, that's for sure. Um, does have four quarterbacks though, and his Howell. Okay, Lenny Fournette, Travis Etienne, who has been absurd. To me is like a top two dynasty running back. Got Lockett and from Matt. Um, Lockett's been pretty darn consistent. Whew, Kirk's been killing it. I got another young, talented receiver who's working out in Jacksonville. Pretty young, 26, not as young as I thought, and has almost all his picks, except second rounders. I think Ryan's team is very good. I want to say I almost want to put him in like the 5, 6 spot area. I want to put him at 6. It might be a little harsh right now. Dynasty wise, oof. I think I want to put him at man. He doesn't have QBs. He's got McCaffrey, who's still got definitely a couple of years. I'm gonna put him a little below Ryan. I really like both their teams actually. I don't like that I had to do them back to back type of thing. I really like Ryan's. We got ETN. All right, going on. Let's go. We're gonna go this division here. This is Tyler's team. Tyler has Mac Jones. I know he's got Tua right now. Kamara, who might go to jail soon. No, I don't think he's going to jail. Pretty underwhelming Saints offense though. Ramondre's been Ramondre absolutely murdering this season. We definitely said that in previous videos. We had to have. Hopkins coming back from the suspension and actually murdering it. 30 years old, murdering it. And I don't know how many. I don't know if he's got this season, next season left, but has been absolutely murdering it. Robinson, I am skipping that guy. I think he's garbage. The cup injury that we probably will go over eventually is the only reason why this guy's doing good. So at least you have him, I guess, is like a handcuff to cup, but I mean, still not that good. Moreau with injuries has been pretty good. Mixon, he had one good game. Congratulations, he blew up. Now he's injured. This is what happens when you have a 26-year-old running back. Yeah, that shit happens. But he's been pretty good. He's been all right. St. Brown is absolutely killing it. Continues to kind of defy everything about what we thought about him and we weren't sure about him. And if he's healthy, he's been killing it. CeeDee Lamb didn't have a great week last week. But week 4 absolutely killed it. Pretty consistent. I mean, top 10 wide receiver. He's 23, young receiver. Tuam by Zappy. Love Zappy. We're going to skip over that. James Robinson is back to not doing anything. We've called that about 100 times. The bench isn't as deep, but I think it's okay because his starters are so good. I mean, we've been wrong about Tyler's team in the past. We've been a little harsh on him. I think he's definitely a top 4 team. We're going to put him at 4 right now. As far as Dynasty goes, I actually think I kind of want to put him. He got CD. He's got St. Brown. His receivers are pretty good. Kamara's a little old. Maybe he's like in a 4 spot. I think we'll keep him at 3. Maybe it's a little generous. Cooper Kupp definitely, now that he's injured too. He's got young receivers now. Ramondre, Joe Mixon is still little, but not too old. I still think Tyler Seam is very good for the next few years. So we'll keep him at 3. Could be like 4 though, potentially. All right, go to the other division. Maybe that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go Goff. This is Evan's team. Evan got Goff. Not who on off, right? Depends if they're home and away. I feel like, right? Home. All right, we're not gonna go down that road. Sanders is having a good year. The Eagles' offense is rolling. JT kind of coming back to life after is JT a good running back? Having some getting fed the ball. I think the Colts are just like, hey, maybe we got our lineup and we'll start potentially winning. DJ Moore having a very underwhelming season. We'll just skip. We need to go faster. We need to go faster. I'll keep repeating that. Drake London kind of coming down to reality last few. It's like, does he score a touchdown or not type of thing. And yeah, if he doesn't score a touchdown, this is what happens. That Atlanta offense is weird. They know how to run the ball. Can they pass it yet? They don't use London and Pitts well. Hopefully they find a QB. I think for the future, London's more than fine. Kittle defying all odds. I talk a lot of shit about Kittle from a fantasy perspective. He's my favorite tight end in the game, to be honest. But fantasy-wise, I think he's garbage, and he has just proven me absolutely wrong, 2 of the last 4 weeks, I guess. Also, the defense just doesn't play. The Cardinals weren't playing defense last night, so he's killing it. Fryermuth, we've been on him since Evan drafted him. Love him. Dolchik, we were on him, and he's been very good. Remember, this is a rookie tight end, and he's had 1 bad game since he started playing. 80% snaps. I love Dolchik's. So honestly, pretty starting for being in last place. I don't know. It surprises me for sure. The bench is garbage. Will Fuller still not on team. Duvernay's been actually, he's had some good games. That was a good pickup. KJ Osborne has really underwhelmed too. Elijah Moore, extremely underwhelming, unfortunately. We got the injuries. Trey Lance, Watson, those QBs, he can pretty much just rely on Watson going forward in this and years after that, and it's going to be sick for his team. As Trey Lance too. Michael Thomas has been Michael Thomas. No first or second. I think Evan's team is criminally underrated this season. I think he's just kind of, maybe it's bad luck, I don't know what it is, or just not putting up points. His team looks really good, though. Partially, London, DJ Moore type of thing. I think Evan's team will kind of go back to the norm. I think I'm going to put him in the 4th spot right now next year. And especially with Watson coming back. His team's scary. Evan has a scary team. Go back to this division. We already did that one. We'll do Kev's team. We were close to that one. Kev's team. We got Aaron Rodgers. I don't like Aaron Rodgers. I think he's garbage. He's been putting up mediocre numbers, but he's still the 14 or 12 QB overall. I don't know. It's not, not that great in a 16 team league, but not that bad either. Chubb's been murdering it. Eckler's been murdering it. The insane running backs. We have Robert Woods, Mike Williams out again, and Njoku's had a very great season until he got injured. Tyler Algier's been extremely underwhelming. I think he actually just traded Dave. So he's got Mooney here now. I don't know why it's not showing up, but it's probably because of last week's. But anyway, Mooney. So he's got a young receiver now too, which I like Mooney. We're a big fan of Mooney. Conklin's was having a good season. Deonta Foreman has had some great weeks. That was just a great depth player there that has blown up. Last few weeks has not had some good weeks. Quarterbacks have all been trash except for Aaron Rodgers. Still, these are all yucky quarterbacks, but one of them's kind of always playing like Matt Ryan or Aaron Rodgers, and you kind of get by with your insane running backs. Mozart is hurt, I think. I don't even know. I don't know what Mozart's been up to. I guess he's been kind of just replaced. Henderson just got waived, so the depth to this team is pretty terrifying. Hill is, always a good flex spot because you never know if he's gonna have a good game or not. I don't hate him. Marquise Brown, you need him to come back pretty bad. I mean, no first or no second next few years. I, I mean, we'll do the easy one right here. This is the easy again. We've had Kevin there down there for a while. Can he win now? I do think Kevin has a very good team. I'm gonna put it in the could be anywhere from like 3 to 5 maybe in my spot or my mind. Insane running backs. The receivers are trash. He at least he's got Mooney and Marquise Brown who are a little bit young though. The QB situation's rough. Tight end situation's pretty rough, but Njoku has been stepping up. I think he's got a very good starting squad with no depth to it. Is the gist. We already did this one. Joshua Allen is Brad. Josh Allen killing the game. He is healthy, good for Brad. I think he's going to be fine. I don't know how he's going to do the rest of this year though, because I don't know how long that injury is going to linger. Gordon just got fucking waived again. There's a lot of surprise waivings. Pollard, we have been all over Pollard for whoever, like since the beginning of this thing. The Dallas is finally starting to use him. They've realized how trash Zeke is. Zeke is somewhere on here, and he, hey, he didn't. No, he did start him. Who he just vultures touchdowns. I hate Zeke. But at least got Pollard. Thielen's sucked. Claypool sucked. Mark Andrews is insane. I'd probably the top dynasty asset at tight end. DJ Chark is just came back from injury. Logan Thomas has been all right for sure. That actually has not been all right. I mean, he's a solid spot though. Zeke is, can he get a touchdown or not? Fuck Zeke. Daniel Jones, pretty good underrated quarterback, obviously, and it's good backup to have here. Kenny Pickett is honestly not the answer to me. I still have never seen anything that impresses me. He can run the ball a little bit, but I don't know. I just don't like Kenny Pickett, but it was still a good value pick in the rookie draft. Madison's been doing nothing behind Cook. Tyreek has been the absolute fucking monster. I think when that trade happened, it's like after the trade when Tyreek goes to the Dolphins, and you're like, Brad lost that trade, and now it's kind of like, well, damn, Tyreek's actually just been freaking setting records. So, Jalen Tolbert been doing nothing. Joshua Palmer, we've been on Josh Palmer. He's been with all the injuries in the Chargers, has been killing it. Shakir's been doing nothing. Likely has had some great weeks, and we were wrong about him for sure. No first or second coming up, but all the rest of the picks. I think Brad starting is pretty freaking good. You got Josh Allen, Pollard, Mark Andrews, you got Tyreek, you got a bunch of core 4 or 5 people that are just nuts. They are a little bit older though, so I think I'm gonna do like the easy dynasty. I might be extra harsh here and maybe put him down here, but I think he could range from all the way up to here to like probably 10, kind of similar to like Kyle. I think 10 to 14 for this year. I definitely think Brad has an easy chance at, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he just gets carried by Josh Allen, Tyreek, Pollard, Mark Andrews week, and he can win any week. So 7 is probably a little harsh on that one, but I think you don't want to run into Brad's team on the wrong week. That is for sure. All right, we haven't done this team. This is Dean's team. Burrow, love Burrow. We always love Burrow. Don't care he started the season slow, right? It was a little scary at first, but Burrow, Dameon Pierce, coming back down to earth a little bit, but still I think is top 3 rookie running back. Great pick still. Derrick Henry was honestly this trade works out right now for sure. He's been killing it since he traded for him, I think, and maybe this isn't last year. He defies every fucking thing. Just Jefferson has had a couple definitely monster weeks. Yeah, 22, 30. Absolute stud. Should have been the first receiver off the board in the startup. No comment. Cooper's been having a super underrated year. I don't think anyone would be able to say he's a top 10 wide receiver this year, and just he's been murdering it. He still is kind of always that Amari Cooper who's like boomer bust, but it's definitely been like pretty low ceiling. I mean, like he's only got 3 games, 3 out of 10. It used to be like 50%, so 33. TJ Hawkinson back on mini. I think that's obviously very good for him. CEH has fallen off a cliff, and that sucks to see. This dude has been underrated as hell. He is scoring a shit. I mean, for the Saints touchdowns, this is a lot. Um, Number 8 tight end. I mean, this is something. This is why you have depth to your team. Just throw him in there. Singletary has been murdering it this year. Really getting the ball a lot more than I think a lot of people thought, and he's scoring a lot of touchdowns. And really, they're kind of running Josh Allen less. Maybe it's not the really injury, but just because they realize they probably shouldn't always run Josh Allen when they're on the 8-yard line. But good for Singletary. Quarterback depth, you got Mariota as a good backup. The depth to this team, past the starters. Romeo Dubs has been hurt. That's, hates to see it. Put him, your IR is full. That's why. Brait, what has Brait been up to? Nothing. Juju's hurt. Renfro's been pretty worthless this year, which you hate to see. No first this year, but still got first and everything. So still a good amount of draft picks. Kind of similar to Brad's team. I'm going to put Dean's team up here in the Dynasty. I mean, a bunch of, kind of same Burrow, Pierce, JJ. Derrick Henry is old, though, but not good for Dynasty, but I think next year. TJ, kind of similar to Brad's team, but I think this has a little more depth than Brad's team overall on the starter side. So I think Dean's team is a little bit better for sure. We've always loved Dean's team. We're always going to rate him higher than what anyone ever thinks. Maybe this is probably the lowest we've ever ranked him, honestly, at 3. Maybe we could put him at 2 or something. But I don't know. Anyway, really like Dean's team, and he has a great young team. He's our little league sweetheart. We're going to go on. We have not done this team. Dave's team. Stafford, gross. Been hurt. Gibson Harris, underwhelming. Actually, Gibson's been better. We love Gibson. They've been finally giving him the ball and being like, hey, he's good. I don't know what the heck his future holds, though. He's a giant question mark to me. Najee Harris had his first good game, probably, yeah. Looks like he quadrupled his scores. Top 20 running back, surprising to see. I guess he's had a very low, nice low floor. Finally had a good game. Otherwise, very disappointing year. Van Jefferson traded away Mooney for Algier. I really didn't like that trade. For Dave, I kind of would have held on to Mooney, but Algier's younger, maybe buying some more time for him. McKinney, with Everett being out, has done nothing. Is a little sad to see. Boomer bust. Chase Edmonds. Ugh. Sky Moore finally has had a couple good, I guess he finally had one good game. I thought he had 2. Nope. First, 5 catches. Good for Sky Moore. I still believe that potentially there, it's obviously not as big as maybe people thought it might be, but I think there's still great potential in him. Jacoby, not a lot of QB depth after Stafford. What are you going to do? Stafford's out. Yikes. Anyway, QB depth, a lot of QBs with no depth. Eno Benjamin, that guy felt the bad attitude. Jerry Dude has been out. Evan Ingram's actually underrated. McBride has been coming alive slowly with he's gonna be good. All picks, you got Kev's first. I think for Dynasty, I want to put him. I don't want to rate draft picks automatically because he's got just you got 2 first round picks, you're gonna be up here. I'm gonna try to be a little cautious with those. I still think your team. If your best, we've kind of been saying this for a long time, is your best players are running backs, which is always in your wide receivers. You just trade away Mooney, who's probably your best receiver. Your wide receivers are so bad. Sky Moore is the only light of hope on your team as far as receivers go. We still like the running backs, and they're younger, but I don't like that they're your best players. This year, your team blows. Sorry, Dave. Love you. I kind of want to put his dynasty up to here. I think I could really put anybody up to any of these players up, any of these teams except Kevin up to 8 or 9. But all right, we're gonna keep going. Zach Wilson, Jason, best looking guy in the league. Uh, Zach Wilson. The Jets offense has been pretty well. They just played the Patriots. This is a bad week to say it, but has been okay unless they play a top defense, which they've played Buffalo and New England lately. Um, Zach Wilson looks like he's always just going to be promising. I don't know if he's the answer, and it's a little scary. And this is really the only quarterback on his team. So terrible. Kenneth Gainwell has done absolutely. Sometimes like, hey, we're going to use you a lot. Some games are like, nah, dude, you're 5'9" and we don't care about you. Avery Williams was pick up. That guy's trash. Garrett Wilson has been pretty promising when the Jets are struggling. When the Jets offense is rolling, he's rolling. When they're struggling, he struggles. Has been a pretty good rookie wide receiver though, but like not as good as Olave, you'd say for sure. So I think there's still a lot of promise in Wilson. Alec Pierce has kind of definitely fallen off after being like, hey, this guy's the real deal. And now that the whole kind of Indy offense was struggling, they're running the ball more and 8 targets though. I still think there's a lot of promise to Kyle Pitts. They finally started throwing the ball at him. Sometimes it's 6 yards away from him, but at least it's towards him. He did hurt himself though, so that's bad for this year. Hoping he recovers for next year. Hunter Bryant has been actually stepping up all right with Njoku gone. A lot of potential, and I guess I just keep repeating there's a lot of potential, but all of these guys honestly suck right now, is the gist of it. Tommy Tremble is supposed to be promising, has done absolutely nothing. 2 goose eggs. That's cool of him. Quarterbacks are trash. Roundtree, Evans has done nothing. This guy's done nothing. This guy looks pretty promising. Malik Davis looks very promising as the third running back on the, whenever they decide to murder Zeke, I think by murder I mean just cut him off their team. I think Davis might have actually potential future. DK has been having a pretty solid year. Love DK. Irv Smith, traded for Irv Smith, been hurt. Not anything promised. Jamar Chase has been hurt. This is Chase's best player. Breece Hall, traded for Breece Hall, is probably second best player, out for a year. And yeah, we got 2 firsts, 3 seconds, a first and a second. So a lot of picks. I think the core. This is a super easy one. This is what we do with Kev. We throw him at the bottom because his team is absolute garbage this year. For Dynasty, the core, I think the core of Garrett Wilson, DK, Chase, Breece Hall, Kyle Pitts is a pretty nuts, insane core. It's kind of like a Brad and Dean core, but except the players are actually playing and are good right now. I think it's very potential. It's a lot of potential on Jason's team. He could go up to here, but we're gonna, because of picks, we don't want to overrate Pitts. We're gonna put him at 8, and also trading away CD. I think CD's on his team. His team's up here. Trading for Breece Hall is a lot of risk, and yeah, we're gonna put him at 8. Probably, honestly, could go down to 10 or 11. So maybe we're a little nice on that rating. I don't know. Maybe we'll put him down 1 to be safe here. All right, next division. Baby Mahomes. All right, who have we not done? Now we have not done Steve. Steve's team. Herbert finally coming alive, finally getting weapons back. Has had a very disappointing year. I'm crazy surprised he is the 13th quarterback right now. Interesting. It's like there's the top quarterbacks is a giant hill. Coming back though, Keenan Allen's back. I think it sucks Mike Williams is out again. Let's go on. I still think Herbert is fine. I think he's also maybe injured, so I think that's why he's kind of struggling this year. Delvin Cook has been very good. I think he's going to be fine for next year too. Aaron Jones, Green Bay's like, oh, we should give him the ball. He's actually a pretty good football player. Michael Pittman has kind of been struggling with the whole Indy offense, but getting all the snaps, getting consistent targets, so good for him. Great get. I was gonna say Greg. Gabe Davis has been getting a little more consistent here. Getting a lot of targets and 6'5". Not a lot of catches, but a lot more targets with Gabe Davis. I think he's kind of slowly blooming. Travis Kelce is the top QB right now. He's absolutely absurd. I don't know what else to say about that guy. Rondale Moore got hurt last week, which sucks for him. He was having a very good last few weeks, um, getting a ton of targets and a ton of catches, and it sucks that he got hurt for Steve. But Steve has got the depth. Jacoby Myers has been always solid. Keenan Allen coming back finally after playing like 2 games this year. I think Keenan might be back. I don't know if this is going to be his last season. Brady on bye, pretty underwhelming for a QB, but always a good backup to have with Herbert. Heineke is also solid. Damon Harris on and off, but a solid football player. Spiller, I'm going to kind of skip over him, but he's got a couple touches last week. That's good. Tunyon, Josh Reynolds has actually been pretty good this year when he's been playing. Just kidding. He's had a couple bad weeks and been hurt. I take back everything I said. Tunyon, Otten has been on bye, and he's been pretty solid, especially for a rookie running back. Bellinger doesn't have an eye anymore, which sucks, but he has been very promising too. Khalil Herbert has been that best Bears running back in my opinion. It sucks that he got hurt, but the good thing is that Steve has all of this depth because we went over like 4 bench players who are super good and would start on a lot of other teams. No first, but does have a second, no first or second for next year, no first for 2024. All right, so I think, what am I doing? I think Steve's team is definitely the number. I mean, the combination of this starting roster plus the depth that he has as well. The fact that Rondale Moore can just get hurt and he can pop him in. With a few other people is pretty insane. I think that Steve, I want to put his dynasty he has no picks, which is, I don't want to judge too harshly on, but a bunch of young players. Aaron Jones how old is Aaron Jones? 20, he's a little old. A bunch of core though, Rondale Moore, Herbert, obviously. Oh, we skipped over Mike Evans. That's nuts. Yeah, that just says so much about this depth of this team. It's freaking insane. How old is Mike Evans? I didn't look. 29. So pretty old, but there's still a lot of promising young players on this team. I wish he would have held on to maybe a little bit more of them. Gabe Davis is still pretty young. Pittman's young. I want to put him at 7 or 8 right now. Maybe we'll put him at 8. I still think Steve has a very good team for the next 3 years. Like, this is probably too low. I think I could probably put him up to 5 to 8 for sure. Who do we got left? Doom. Eric's team. We have done Eric's team. We gotta keep cruising. Lamar. I hate Lamar. My mustache is hurting me. Lamar. Pretty underwhelming. Pretty good schedule coming forward, though. The whole Baltimore offense has been weird. I think people are slowly figuring out Lamar, but I still love Lamar. Connor's been actually okay. I don't love him, but that Arizona offense has been Michael Carter, the Jets offense has just really played, like we already said, have played 2 very good defenses. Still believe in Michael Carter. Still, he's a good flex. Olave is the best rookie wide receiver, no doubt about it. I don't think it's a debate as of right now. I think it might change, but Olave has been absolutely murdering the game. A.J. Brown has been absolutely murdering it. Hurst has been a solid flex tight end to have for sure. Kenyon Drake in Baltimore has been okay. I think we have like the whole Baltimore squad on this team, if I remember correctly. Sammy Watkins. Brandon Cooks has been always good. I think it would have been nice if he was traded for Eric's sake, but I think next year, Brandon Cooks is always just solid. Kirk Cousins, good backup to have. Mike Davis, this bench is atrocious. We got Dotson, though. I do like Dotson. The depth. All right. Oh yeah, this makes sense. I remember this now. We got Ertz and Goddard hurt, and Dobbins hurt. So this, we got a first. We got all the first. I do like Eric's team a lot. It sucks that both his top two tight ends, who are top 5 in the league, I'd say, have been hurt, and Dotson's been hurt. Just been really battling injuries, and it really shows like how deep if his team was deep, this Eric's team would be in a lot better spot. I think Eric is a very underrated team, and I don't even think it's a doubt that people sleep on his team. And it is a actually very good team. It's just that he's battling injuries, and this is a bad. I think if I do this like 2 weeks ago, Eric is probably up here, and kind of probably same with I'll put him in the 12 spot in Dynasty. He's still got his picks. I know he's traded away his young players for a little bit of older players, and it just sucks that they've gotten hurt, or he's had injuries on his team. Still a bunch of good players. AJ Brown has been very good, showing that he's down. I think he continues to dominate the way that he is, and I just really like. I think maybe maybe we switch Eric and Dave here. I don't hate this. I really like Eric's team. Continuing, Aaron. We have not done Aaron. Justin Fields, murdering it. He did. I do want to say I don't want to go too hard on Justin Fields. I think that these last 3 games have been very easy schedule for him. Dallas was pretty nuts though. They're a good defense. It's good to see that Chicago's building around him. It seems. You can see how many times he's running the ball, which is insane. It does suck to see him get hurt though, which is what happens when you run the ball as much as you do as a quarterback, and you get hit by linebackers and D-line every single play. I do not know how long his career is going to last, is all I can say, but his talent is there, obviously. And we know that he has Jalen Hurts. Put him on bench. What a move. Who outscored? Oh, bad call. Jalen Hurts won. Terrible call, Aaron. You're an idiot. 2 great quarterbacks to have on your team. Cordell Patterson, love him. The 31-year-old running back, always a fan. Finally back healthy. Saquon, traded for Saquon, very bad, very bad week. I do like Saquon. I think he is a top dynasty, but it is good to see him healthy. I just don't know how much longer. It was a risky trade, but I respect it. Saquon's a stud. He's a monster with his thighs. We'll just go past that. I feel like I keep going about Saquon, but it lasts too long. Diggs, Adams, absolute studs. Aaron's team for the next 3 years is just pretty freaking nuts between Hurts, Barkley, Diggs, Adams, Pickens, Kareem Hunt on a new team. It sucks that he's on Cleveland for this year, though. I mean, this starting roster, one of these guys doesn't belong. Khalif Raymond. Rashad White is getting that number 1 role in Tampa Bay. Eli Mitchell is still even getting some carries even with CMC there, which is pretty lucky based on the acquiring of CMC. Waddle on bye. Waddle's been really stepping it up. I mean, number 6. That's wild. For Miami. We knew we liked Waddle, but this 6th wide receiver is nuts. Tim Patrick hurting sucks. Penny being out sucks. Javonte Williams. They dropped Gordon though. No first round and but does he have an extra second round? No first or second 2024. I mean, with these people not injured and not on bye, I gotta give Aaron the top dynasty spot. The next 3 years of his running backs if they're healthy, Diggs, Adams, Hurts, Pickens. I mean, it's pretty nuts. For this year, even 2 might be a little high. I still think Aaron's team's a little underrated. if these guys are healthy, his teams. I mean, that's why we rated number one in the beginning of the season. But I mean, we still got Rashad White, we still got Pickens, we still got Hunt. His starting roster is still very good. I still think it's a very scary team. It's like almost as scary as Tyler's team, except I think it's just like a little notch up type of thing. As far as potential in Aaron's team for this year, it doesn't have a lot of depth though, with all the injuries he's had. So, all right, we got Brownlee's team. Brownlee team. Derek Carr, ugh, dude cries every game. Has been okay though. Caleb Huntley, Pacheco's taken over the one. That's pretty sick for Brownlee. Higgins with Chase out has been eating. Boyd, the whole Cincy backfield here. Thank gosh he traded Mixon. I bet you didn't see Samaje Perine being. That's what Brownlee does. Trades away the Cincy running back one, has the Cincy running back run already on his team. Russell Wilson sucks. At least does have Carr. I think Carr's okay though. I think rough season this year will be okay. The depth to this team is awful. Julio Jasicki on bye. He's been a number 19 tight end. Yeah, kind of expected that. Dortch, I think he's hurt, but he's actually. I mean, this has been a hell of a pickup. But he's kind of getting back. The bench is not very good though. Not important injuries. He's got 3 first, 3 seconds. And next year he's got another second. So a lot of first round picks here. I think Brownlee's done a good job transition. This used to be Brownlee down here, right? I think Brownlee's done a good job transitioning. I don't know if I want to put him at 10 right here or if I want to put him down. Like he's somewhere in this range. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put a tier right here so I don't forget. But I think 15 is a very harsh on Brownlee spot. He could be all the way like up to 9, I'd say. 8 or 9 type of thing. A lot of first round picks. Has Pacheco, Higgins. This team. We're gonna keep going forward. I think you definitely belong in this area. For this year, your team is probably as bad as we just went over it. Made a lot of trades to get. I think this is a good transition though for Brownlee, where he was, kind of the 8th. Now he's only the 13th, but he's gotten a lot more draft picks, and I don't want to give him too much credit for the 3 rounds. We got to see what he does with them, right? Moving forward. Who have we not done? Brad, Aaron, Brian, Chris. I don't think we've done Chris. Trevor Lawrence. It's been okay. He's shown some promise, shown some not so good promise. I think he's gonna be okay as a solid QB. Josh Jacobs continues to murder it, even when Vegas is struggling. Terrence, the whatever the word I'm looking for of Terrace Marshall. This guy is actually playing all right in a shitty Carolina offense. Gerald Everett is injured right now. Has been actually pretty good tight end this year. Kyren Williams coming back. Not doing too much, but he just had Darrell Henderson cut. That's because of this guy right here. Allen Lazard, a little underrated. Green Bay wide receiver 1 doing okay. Been solid. DPJ has been looking really good. We really like him. Geno Smith has been a monster too. We've already talked about the value this guy has been given him. The rest of these guys on the bench are not that great. AJ Green. Oh my god, he got this is the best game of the year almost. Oh my, look at this guy. I take everything. 34 years old. Look at this guy. Fant has been not great. It sucks, that Seoul Seattle thing. Jameson Williams coming back though. Believer in him. 3 firsts again here. And another first for next year. I definitely think I'm going to put Chris right here for right now. I might come back to this. We like Trevor Lawrence. We like Josh Jacobs. He doesn't have DPJ and Kyren Williams. I think he's got a bunch of underrated players that I think can kind of work out. I think it's going to be, and then Jameis Williams, I think he's the number one rookie wide receiver. I think it's going to be kind of like a Kyle situation where it's like, hey, this team looks good, and then we see if they work out or not for this next, upcoming season. I want to put Chris here. This is probably a little nice, but and I really don't hate Chris's team. I kind of like. I think this is probably a fair spot. Probably could be a little bit lower. It's not as bad as Brownlee's team though. I don't think it's as good as Kyle's team either though. I think this is a good spot actually. It's a good spot. Um, bunch of young. It's a bunch of young players, which is pretty. Everybody's young. And Ingram. We forgot about Ingram in the taxi squad. We like this guy. Wherever the heck he is. There he is. Look at this guy. 1.9 points. What a beast. All right, we're gonna move on. Matt, we did not do Matt's team. Dak, big fan of Dak. He seems like he's kind of getting healthier and healthier as the season goes on. Tony Pollard is really opening up that offense. I like Dak. He's young. Cam Akers is fine. I think, jury's still out on Cam Akers. We'll see. Ebner is actually a really good backup. I really like this pick. Not doing great right now, but I think for future, I think he's going to be pretty good. Rayer, Bird, Stoll, Zach Moss. Zach Moss got traded to Indy. That's who we were trying to think of earlier. David Montgomery with Herbert injured has actually been a really good. Look at that guy, monster. But not a big fan of David Montgomery. He is still pretty young though, 25. I don't know what his contract looks like, but he's 25. That's still fairly young for a wide receiver. David Bell, I still think he's very promising. I think he can still that wide receiver one on Cleveland is still kind of up for grabs, even though Cooper's murdering it. I still like David Bell and DPJ. They have a mean receiver core in Cleveland. No QBs in the backup. Justin Watson, I think this guy's actually a little underrated. Nico Collins is very underrated, and Christian Watson is finally putting together, after all the trash we've talked about in this whole season and how better Romeo Doubs is, he is finally coming together. So kind of making this Doubs Christian Watson case a little more equal now. Just 3 and 2 touchdowns. I know Matt likes to see that, so I think very promising. That is about it though. Darren Waller being hurt sucks. Hardman being hurt sucks. Ty Chandler, I think, is a very good taxi squad, though. He's got 2 firsts, 2 seconds, 2 firsts, 2 seconds again. So a lot of good draft picks here. I want to, we'll just keep moving Jason down because that guy's a loser, right? I think I'm going to put Matt at 9. A lot of draft picks. I don't want to give him too much credit for draft picks, but he's got a lot of young. We got Dak. We got Dave Montgomery for definitely a couple more seasons. Let's see what happens with Akers. We like David Bell, Nico Collins, Watson. I still Hardman's always a little overrated, but he still can always have a very good game. We like McColl Hardman. I think 9's probably a fair spot for Matt. I think it could be anywhere from maybe 8 to 12 or 13 type of thing. Range for Matt, but we like his team for this year. We have this spot open this year. His team they're kind of coming alive, kind of not, between Nico Collins, Watson. They've both been hurt. This team's not bad, but it's not good either. I think 14. Maybe you could maybe we can put Brownlee, Matt here. We'll just keep him there, but is that the last one? We did everybody. All right. We did it. Whoa. I didn't realize Matt was the last one. I'm glad that he kind of plugs in here because I think this is pretty good. Tier breakdown. For this year, I think these first 6 teams are really the teams to beat. Tyler's had some injuries, which suck for him. I want to do like a dotted tier right here. I think Tyler's team has been hurt with I think Tyler's team can also easily win too. Same with Kevin's and Ryan's. I also think Brad's team is pretty good too, though. Um, Eric's had a lot of injuries. I actually think Brian's team's a little underrated. Evan, Chris, or Evan, Kyle, Chris. Definitely I want a tier break here. And then this is good. I think this is pretty good. These are definitely the bottom four teams. I think these guys are pretty good. I think Brian and Eric are a little like Eric could be with Brad, but Eric's had a lot of injuries. Brad's team could jump up here based on the good weeks consistently though. I think he's just had some tough breaks. Gordon. I'm trying to think off the top of my head here. I think he could be in this tier too though. So maybe we'll get rid of this. We'll put Brad up a tier. Um, since we're not doing 1 to 6 as a tier type of thing. Dotted line here. I think it's a pretty good tier for Dynasty. I think that, and again, I think the champ comes out of, easily come out of E7. Obviously, it's it's not a hot take since the league's kind of split into playoff and non-playoff right now. I think the champion will come out of these three, but I would zero surprise if it comes out of any of these guys too. So, Eric's team just hitting a bad break with injuries, unfortunately. Dynasty, I think I'm going to put a tier here. I think Aaron's, Dean, and Tyler's teams are kind of a step above people's right now for sure. We always love Dean's team, and we're not going to stop it. I think we're going to put a tier at Steve's. I think these are kind of like a little bit established teams that still have upside. Maybe Chris shouldn't be in this tier. I don't know how Chris got up here this high, but we're going to keep him there. And then I think I want to keep this giant tier all the same because I know we talked about Kyle could be up here. Brownlee could also be up here. Brad could definitely be up here. So this is a very large tier, and I think anybody could swap given the week. And then Kevin all at his own on the bottom because Kevin has nothing for the future. I think that's everything. I think we're going to call it a video. Thank you for watching. I don't know if that was under an hour. I don't think it was, but we'll see. Love you guys. That was me rambling for an hour.